Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samasta Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande
Anandamadhavam
Paramananda Madhavam. Verse number 5 onwards. Yavat vitto parjana saktaha tavan nija parivaro raktaha
Paschajivati jarjadehi
Vartam kopi na pruchati gehe Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam
Govindam bhaja
Mudhamate Samprapte sannihite kali Nahi nahi rakshati dukkrunkarane Yavat pavano nivasati dehe
Prichhati kushalam gehe Gatavati vayau deha paye Bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye
Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate
Samprapte sannihite kale Nahi nahi rakshati dukkrunkarane
Nahi nahi rakshati dukkrunkarane. So as long as one has the capacity to earn, so long Nija Parivaraha, one's family, associates, relatives, all of them show their attachment to us. Paschat jivati jarjara dehe, and then as the body becomes old and becomes feeble, vartam kopina pruchhati gehe. No one in the house even inquires for you, inquires about you. Now here, the ability to earn wealth is only one ability. Each one of us are respected for a certain capacity. Each one. These capacities are there in us. A scientist has a certain capacity, a politician has got a certain capacity, a sportsman has a certain capacity. Everyone has a certain capacity. And of course, this capacity is monetized. One monetizes one's capacity for achieving this or that of the world. This capacity is there. And this capacity brings us our respect, our quota of respect. Facts of life. Don't be frightened. Facts of life. Today I am talking to all of you. Let's say tomorrow I get paralytic attack. Hope not. But anything is possible. In a few days, people will all come, Swamiji, how are you? Hope you become better fast. We wish you a speedy recovery. Then some pujas also will be done here and there. Then after 2 years, 3 years, slowly, very, very few people will be around. Very, very few people. And slowly that also. This is the nature of the world. And therefore, don't be carried away by all these things. Don't be carried away. These are the facts of life. This is not pessimism. This is not pessimism. This is not optimism. Correct, it is not optimism. But this is not pessimism also. This is how it is. So, this is how it is. So, if this is how it is, you try to understand what are the priorities of life. What are the most important things to be accomplished in life. This doesn't mean don't use your energy. This doesn't mean don't use your capacity. This doesn't mean don't monetize whatever strengths and abilities you have. This doesn't mean don't care for your family. This doesn't mean anything of this nature. Do everything, but don't be carried away. Don't be carried away by the vanities of life, by the small things of life. Pay attention to higher things of life. That is what this means. Okay? That is what this means. Also, as you care for your family, as you are, discharging your responsibilities by God-gifted abilities, discharging your responsibilities by God-gifted abilities, take your mind to the higher God. What do you mean take your mind to God? Well, you all know none of these capacities can manifest but not for the consciousness within. That is the God in our hearts. But for that consciousness, the body will not function, the mind will not function, the senses will not function, none of the abilities will be there, capacities will be there. If not for that consciousness, the life within, which expresses as life within, if not for that consciousness, nothing is possible. Do you ever give attention to that? That is totally non-existent in our life. Is it not? And all that we do, if you just think, all that we do in our life is, we try to increase our abilities and capacities. Start from, every parent does that to help their child. Is it not? Put them for, apart from the school, put them for extracurricular activities. And more and more the mother is very, very dynamic. More and more the child goes for many kinds of things. Starting from morning he goes for tennis, the fellow. Then he has got also swimming. Then he also has got gymnastics. Then he also has got, now girls also, some things and all they find out what they do. For them also. Music and dance and this and that and everything. Yes, all these things must be done. None of them should not be done. All these things must be done. But along with it, the most important thing should not be forgotten. And what is said? Everything that is experienced is temporary. What is most valuable? What is most permanent? How can I become independent of my abilities? How can I gain the true fulfillment? Today I see fulfillment in the love and respect others have for me. But I should not be carried away by that, because this love and respect is an expression of their respect for my ability and capacity. This ability and capacity is not going to be permanent. It is also going to wane away. It is also going to wane away. So if I am satisfied with the love and respect others give me, it is not their mistake. It is my mistake. I should find out what are deeper things in life and find them out, explore them, go deeper, find my fulfillment. And as I find my fulfillment, my expression of my love and joy for all will only increase. Spirituality never takes you and makes you lonely. Spirituality does not make us lonely, but spirituality keeps us alone in the midst of everyone also. There's a difference being lonely and alone. We are all alone. We are all alone. See, there's a difference between lonely and alone. Huh? We are all alone. We are all alone. We were born alone. And we will go alone. And in between, we think we are with everyone. But really speaking, alone to alone, all alone is a journey. Alone to alone, all alone is the journey. And we think our loneliness can go away by so many ways. We cultivate friendships, we expand our contacts, etc., etc. We look for how much likes we get for our postings. All kinds of things we do. Because in all these things we feel fulfilled. But these are all very fickle ways to become fulfilled. One should understand the important things of life. One may be appreciated for all external things, but one should not think one's glory is because of external things. I am appreciated, let us say, for the way my nose is. Example. Nose. My nose is not that beautiful. But let us say I am appreciated for my nose. Then what do? There are people who go to such an extent that they... What is that? They? Not plastic. Okay, plastic surgery and all. But there are people... What, they not license their nose? Something. Insurance, their nose they insure. Have you heard of all these things? Insure. They insure their face. They insure so many things. Good only. I am not saying don't do. Do it. But meaningless you are. Find out who you are. You are not the nose. Find out who you are. Find the explosion of joy that you are. And come to the true fulfillment. Don't become happy because 10 people praise your nose. It's not worth it. Find the deeper things. And therefore, just the respect and the love that you are getting from all, whomsoever, including your most close dear, near and dear, the family, is not something getting which you can be complacent about the important things of life. Atmavare drashtavyaha. Come to experience your true nature. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Verse number 5, that was we saw. Verse number 6, even your most dearest, your life partner, Yavat pavano nivasati dehe tavat pruchati kushalam ge. As long as this breath is there, life breath is there, meaning life breath is there, as long as this consciousness pulsates as the life breath flowing through your nostrils, filling up your lungs, again going out, coming in, and thus oxygenating your blood. All these things are happening. And this oxygenated blood floods through your whole body. 20% of it is used only by the brain alone. And little bit less, the brain can collapse. This is how it is. Little bit blood becomes more thin. Little bit more. Blood becomes thin, then what happens? There could be hemorrhage in the brain. Little bit thick it is there. It doesn't go to the brain sufficiently, then also there could be an attack, paralytic stroke. Well, we don't think about all these things and we are very, if only we were responsible for the pumping of the blood. If every moment I have to think, I have to pump blood to the brain. And if that task were to be given to me and if it were not automated, what would have happened? Well, this whole, body, mind complex is functioning because of that consciousness. Gatavati vayo dehapaye bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. And when that life breath has left, meaning when that expression of life is not there, even your most dearest wife will be afraid of you, this body. What do you want to say by all these things? This body has not much value, has not as much value as you think. As you think it has. It is only a temporary, short-lasting equipment. Use it for higher purposes. Deha parartoyam, Shankaracharya would say. This body is meant for higher purposes. Okay, now we go forward. Next verse, right? And suppose one says, Swamiji, where is the time for this important purpose? Why? Next verse. I will read once, you repeat after, and then we'll chant together. Balastavat kridasaktah
Balastavat kridasaktah
Tarunastavat taruni saktah
Tarunastavat taruni saktah
Vriddhastavat chintasaktah
Vriddhastavat chintasaktah
Parame brahmani kopi na saktah
Parame brahmani kopi na saktah
Bhaja Govindam
Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Samprapte sannihite kale Nahi rakshati dukrin
karane Balastavat kridasaktah Prastavat taruni saktah Vriddhastavat chintasaktah Parame brahmani kopi na saktah. Balastavat. As long as one is a bala. Bala means child. Balastavat. Then where is one's attention? Krida saktaha. It is all in games and plays. All non-stop. So much of energy is there. Non-stop that child can play. Non-stop. Hunger also is not seen. So play, non-stop play. Balastavat krida sakta. All right. Therefore, there is no time for this higher thinking. continuously attached. Therefore, no time for. Mind is preoccupied with something, then how can it go for? Not there. All right. Then as the person grows up, becomes a youth, then can that intelligence be used for this higher purpose, this inquiry into the self, finding out who is God? Can Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam be practiced? Tarunastavat Taruni Shaktaha. When one is a young youth, one is attached to the youth of the other gender. Taruna, Taruni. Taruni, Tarunaha. Attachment is there. Tarunastavat Taruni Shaktaha. Alright, now from youth and middle age one grows, and then one grows further and one becomes an age where one has everything is done by others, other people are there to take care, business is there, son is running and everything is there, or daughter is doing this or that, meaning everything is happening, but is the mind available for you for pursuing higher things? Vruddhastavat chinta saktaha. Mind is continuously engaged in its own anxieties. It will think, but not come to any decision. It will keep on thinking. It will not decide. Useless things, it will start thinking so deeply. Others will say, why are you thinking all these things? Drop it now. We are there not to do all those things. Yes, you are all there, but I have to tell you no. I have to tell you no. So, Vruddhastavat chinta sakta. Parame brahmani kopina sakta. And in this way, everyone who is a child or who is a youth or who is a grown-up person, none of them have time for the most important things. Parame Brahmani, the highest reality. Parame Brahman. The word Brahman, Brihatvat Brahma, that which is all pervasive or that which is vast is Brahman. Brihatvat Brahma, meaning that reality which is unconditioned. That reality which is not limited to something. An individual is limited to a body, whereas reality is unlimited. And what is this reality? This reality is what is termed Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Swamiji, can you explain what is this Sat Chit Ananda? Sat is existence. Chit is consciousness. Ananda is infinite completeness. Infinite completeness, fullness, what one would say as Purna. This is the reality. Now, Swamiji, little more can you tell what is this existence? What is existence? Existence is something which we can experience everywhere as something being there. Being. For example, look at yourself. You feel a sense of I am, is it not? This amness is existence. Before we think ourselves as body or this or that, the first thing which will come to is I am will come. When you wake up, what is your first thought? For me, when I wake up, my first thought is what is the time? No. When you wake up, your first thought is, yes, I am. If you very, very carefully note, first thought, I am. The world. What's the time? When you wake up, the first thought is, I am. First thought is, I am. Think for yourself. First thought is, I am. Now, what is this I am? Very soon, this I am becomes body. I am becomes body. Very soon. It does not take much time. Okay, now you knock at somebody's door. Someone knocks the door. Who is that? I am. मैं हूँ. Then the other person, who is that? I am Advayananda. Next. It is not that always we are identified as a body. It is not that always we are identified. There is a basic existence in us which is same as the other existence. Basic existence. I am not talking conditioned existence. When I say I am Advayananda, I am conditioned existence. But when I say I am, when I say I am, when I say I am, now let me tell you something more deeper. When I say I am, there is an I am aware of me saying I am. Subtle point. Let me explain. Okay, right? I see this kerchief. I know this kerchief. This is a kerchief, right? So there is I, there is knowing, there is kerchief. There is subject, I, there is object, kerchief, and there is this connection, knowing. So I know kerchief. This is a thought. I know kerchief. This kerchief is object. I is who? This person. This person. Me. I know the kerchief. All these things is in the thought. Now, I know the kerchief is known. But that knowing that kerchief, that principle within us which is aware of the kerchief, that is not coming in the thought, I know the kerchief. Really, when I say I know the kerchief, what exactly is there is that I know the kerchief. Whenever I say I know something, there is inside a I know. I know, for example, I know you. When I say I know you, there is something more deeper which is aware of I know you. And that deep principle, awareness, consciousness, is not coming in the thought as I know you. It is thoughtlessly there, illumining. Thought is at the mind. So I know you is in the mind, but that I know you, that I know is not in the mind. Nevertheless, it is a basic factor, substratum of life, of every thought, of every action, of every experience. That principle, which is aware, which is existing, which is intrinsically we know as I am, without coming in the level of thoughts, that is Govinda. That is Bhagavan. That is consciousness. That is existence. That is self. That is I am. That is God. That is you. Tat Tvam Asi. This is self-discovery. This is God discovery. Think about it. I'm not saying you should, just because I'm saying you should accept what I'm saying as, don't do that. You think about it. Think about it. Swamiji, can you tell once more? Yes. I know the plate. Now this is gone. I know the whatever, dabba. I know the kerchief. Okay? Now suppose let us say this is a very, very beautiful kerchief. It's a good kerchief, not bad. Huh? And let us say it's a very costly kerchief. Okay, very costly kerchief. Branded something it is. Then I have identification with that. Then I feel joy looking at my kerchief. Then this I becomes happy. I becomes happy. But remember, this I which becomes happy, this I which can become sad, both this happy I and sad I is just illumined by a pure I, which is not coming in the mind as a thought. Because it cannot be thoughted. Because it cannot be objectified. What is an object can be known, but that which is not an object but the pure subject, which I am, because it is of the nature of consciousness, is experienced but is not known at the level of the mind. This unthoughted existence, this unobjectified consciousness, this is reality. This is the reality. Therefore, the basic experience of life for all of us is a I am. But this I am is not a thought. But there is one I am which is a thought, which expresses as I know you, I know this, I know that, I don't know this. All those things are there. So I know is also of the mind, I don't know is also of the mind. Both of them are the mind, but I know is also known, I don't know is also known. That which knows I know is untouched by what is known. That which knows I don't know is also untouched by what is not known. There is this mind I, individual I, which is affected by the experiences. But there is this pure consciousness, which is me, which is illumining all experiences, untouched, unaffected by all experiences. Find out that real nature of yourself, and that is Brahman. That is the reality. That is the truth. That is what each one of us are. This is that reality. This is that Ekameva Advitiyam. Everyone is interested in something or the other. Balastavat Kridasaktaha. Tarunastavat Taruni Saktaha. One more object. And as Bala also, we go through many objects. In our times and all, we should start with marble. Marble. Is it there even now, marbles? Yeah, it is there. Marble is there. Thank God. And we used to collect marbles. Small ones, big ones, and all those things. Collect all the marbles. And then your younger brother is asking for marble. But then you grow up. Then one day you collect all the marbles, jar, you give it to your brother. Your brother thinks, oh, Dana Prabhu. But now you have gone from marble to cricket bat. And that goes on. Before cricket bat, that kite comes. Kite. Then cricket bat. Cricket. Then afterwards. Slowly, slowly. In between stamps also will come. Stamps also. So many things will come. Balastavad Krida Sakta. Keeps on changing. Tarunastavat Taruni Sakta. That girl also or boy also keeps on changing for a few years. Taruni Sakta. Then get married. Then, from then onwards, what? Happiness begins? Sometimes some happiness is there. That is called as some happy. I'm not saying anything about it. Then afterwards, one after another, challenges after challenges, and meeting challenges one after another, one after another, and facing all of them, and gaining so much of experience, you grow and become old. Now at old age, without challenges, you can have problems. Because you face so much challenges. And mind can see the challenges now before they even arise. And therefore you want to educate all the younger people around you. Hey, be careful, don't do that. If you do that, that will happen. They say, Arey, you keep quiet now. We will manage our life now. But you have attachment. You cannot keep quiet. But every generation has to grow by itself and learn and go forward. You may have the experience and you may want to guide them, but they don't want to be guided. They want to go through that things. By the time you come to realize your father and mother are right, you have two things which tell you you are wrong. Vruddhastavat chinta sakta. And about this reality, which will take you beyond joy and sorrow, which will give you the ultimate fulfillment, which is a final realization, which is at Govinda in our heart. Parame Brahmani Kopina Sakta. No time. If sometime they come to recognize at a younger age this is very important, immediately they say, this is important. Later on. Nobody gives. Nobody means what? Very, very few people realize the value of this knowledge and want to give attention to these important facts. The rest of the people are happy living their life in balastavat krida saktaha, vruddhas chinta, what is it? Tarunastavat taruni saktaha, vruddhastavat chinta saktaha. Everyone is quite comfortable leading this nonsense. All right. Then Shankaracharya, what else you want to tell us? Start the inquiry, my dear. How long this will go on? Look closely at your attachments and try to liberate yourself from all your delusions. Kate kanta kaste putraha.
Kate kanta kaste putraha.
Samsar. Shall we do it together only? Together. Kate kanta kaste putraha samsaroyam. Kasya tvam kaha kuta ayataha tattvam
chintayata deha prataha.
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Rakshati Dukrankarane. Kate Kanta. Who's your wife? Huh? Why are you asking this question? Who is my wife? Why should it matter to you? Kaste putraha. Who is your son? Simple. Sanskrit. Kate Kanta. Te is your. Kate Kanta. Who is your wife? Kaste putraha. Who is your son? Samsaroyam ativa vichitraha. The samsara is very funny, is wondrous. How Swamiji, why this question and then saying samsara is funny, is inexplicable, vichitraha? Why, how How are you suddenly by saying, asking two questions and then saying samsara is vichitra? Who's your wife? I don't think here anybody has got wife or husband, right? Yeah, okay. Who is your wife? Let me explain what he means by that. Suppose who's your wife? Suppose it's not the question. Who's your wife? Come here, Vimla. This is my wife. That is not the answer to this question. You are saying wife. You are saying no, so much attached. My wife. Nobody can even look at her. My wife. So much wife. You are saying, or husband. You are saying, right? Who's that person actually? Is that person yours? You manufactured? No, I didn't manufacture. Somebody says wife is, I don't believe in it, but somebody has said like that. What is wife? Worries invited forever. I don't believe in it. WIFE, na? Wife, no, what is that? Worries invited forever. And what is husband? Husband ho gaya. Husband. No, that's not these kind of things. These are all silly. But when you say your wife, first of all, she's not yours, let me tell you. Or your husband also, it's not yours. Why? Somebody's daughter at some point of time became your wife. So first of all, that point is there. Second, when you say this is my wife, you have had many births. Many births you have got. This birth you are calling somebody as wife. Before you were probably a dog or a cat. At that time, like that, how many wives, how many husbands you have had? Now let us bring all wives together you have ever had. And then find out. Really speaking, that person whom you called as wife in their earlier or whatever embodiment, that person would be somebody else now. So which wife, which janma, how you can be so what are you talking? Yes, because life after life, birth after birth. It is like this. When we are going on a train journey, when we are going, there are some people sitting in front of us. We start a conversation. And we start really, genuinely, discussing and then making friends and all those things. And then sometimes, it happens that so much of, connection happens. Then we also take the address, etc., phone number, everything. But when you go back to your destination, then you start your life and everything. You remember it for probably some time. And then afterwards, maybe once there can be a call also. I'm not saying no. But it's gone. It's gone. That is probably 1 day journey, 2 day journey. This is probably what? 40-year journey, 50-year journey. Then afterwards? So Swamiji, what do you want to say? Acha, this is wife. Kaste putraha. Who's your son? Who's your daughter? Yours? Kindly don't in between discuss, okay? Later on you have a discussion time. There you discuss. Who's your daughter? Who's your son? Who's your daughter? When I ask a question like that, whose son, whose daughter? Whose son, whose daughter? Suppose you look at that person, this is my son. Don't get, I'll tell something, but don't get, Suppose you find that, my son, okay, my son. Let us scientifically inquire. My son, my son, very dear, my son. My heart, my everything. Yes, that is how it is. Who is this son? How did this son happen? Swamiji, sperm and ova, they come together and then zygote through the process of then blastula, then gastrula and all those kind of things. Cells expands and then finally you have this whole embodiment standing here. Actually, first it was only 2 cells. Achha, how did those 2 cells come? Cell, na? How did it come? Of course, Swamiji, rice, wheat, potato, tomato. Correct? So when you say sun, and where did potato, tomato, rice, wheat and all come? Earth. Where did earth come? A fragment of the sun. Where did the sun come? One of the stars. Whose sun now? Which star now? Which star's material is this now? Now remember, I am only talking of the body. And the soul of that is how many incarnations it has taken. So the soul is not belonging to you because you did not create it. And the body also. Are you understanding? And then when you say my son, my daughter, what do you mean? Swamiji, you are totally distanced from reality. Suppose you say like that to me, maybe. I am not saying no. Sometimes they think that we should not hear all these kind of things. Why? Swamiji, what? All, so much love, care, concern we have. Ours is such a compact, well-knit, loving family, Swamiji. If all these kind of things can, disturb everything. Suppose one thinks like that. It will disturb everything. Meaning what? The same attachment should remain and the same kind of, you are my wife, do as I say. You are my son, you are mine. You have no freedom to think. Is this what is required? One should understand all these things and have spaces in our love. There should be spaces where we give freedom, where we respect the other person as a person with their own thoughts, their own feelings, because no one is actually yours. Yes, all these things are there. All these things are there. My wife, my husband, my son, my daughter, all these things are there so that we discharge our responsibilities and duties without truly owning them, because ownership does not belong to you. Ownership belongs to the higher reality which has created all. That is my wife, that is my husband, because in this reality of cosmos, God decided. God decided means what? It was decided for my growth and evolution. The cosmos decided for that evolution and growth. We both come together and we both serve each other. We both grow together. In loving each other, we find our expression and growth. And in that expression and growth, we find our inner evolution. Therefore, the final purpose of the family is a spiritual evolution of each individual by discharging their responsibilities with love and dedication, but dedicating it to a higher cause which has brought all of us together. Let the father, let the mother do their duties to children. Let the children do their duties to their parents. Let husband discharge these duties to the wife. Let wife discharge duties to the husband. But in and through all those things, let them understand that there's a greater power which has brought them together. And the beauty and joy of it is they evolving together to reach the highest truth and not to have ownership with each other, preventing each one's growth. Tattvam chintaya tadiha bhrataha. Oh brother, think about these truths. Think about these facts. Kasyatvam, you belong to whom? Kasyatvam, who you belong to whom? One is, who's my wife? Then you're asking about, belonging. My wife belongs to me. Now you tell me, to whom do you belong? Kasyatvam. To whom do you really belong to? Kaha, who are you first? Who are you? Are you the body? Are you that individual? Or are you even beyond that individual as the pure principle that illumines even that individual I, which comes in the thought as I see you? In that I see you, that I is the individual, you or anything, let us say, is a subject, then the object. But illumining the subject and object is a pure principle of awareness. Aren't you that? Kuta ayataha? Where did you come from? What is your source? In this way, think deeply about the facts of life. Don't be carried away by superficialities. Shatter your illusions. Hammer your delusions. Kate kanta kaste putra samsaro yamativa vichitra kasya tvam kahakuta ayata tattvam chintaya tadiha brata bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudamate samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukrinkarani nahi rakshati dukrinkarani. But Swamiji, where should I start? I understand, there are deeper truths and facts of life, and so far I have been ignorant of them, blinded by the superficialities. Now I want to what? Shatter illusions, hammer delusions. What should I do? Where should I start? Is there a process of growing? Is there? Yes. What? Start with Satsang. Satsangatve nisangatvam nisangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatatvam nischalatatve jivan mukti. This verse is so beautiful, so important, so well known. I'm sure some of you might have heard this even before you came for this. How many of you heard this verse? Yeah, quite a few. Shall we chant this together? Satsangatve nissangatvam nissangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatatvam nischalatatve jivan mukti. I'll just explain in brief. In the next session we can see it deeper. Start with satsang. Sang means association. Satsang means with noble thoughts, with higher thoughts. Create for yourself opportunities for learning noble things. Start from that. And as you do that satsang, then what will happen? Nissang will happen. Satsang, then nissang. When nissang happens, nirmoha happens. Delusions are shattered. And when delusions are shattered, reality shines. And when reality shines, you can become liberated. Associate with noble thoughts. Gain detachment. From detachment, gain the destruction of delusion. And with the destruction of delusions, let reality shine, let truth shine. And with truth shines, you can be liberated even while you are here now. What all these things mean, we will take up in the next session. Okay? Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.